everybody, and welcome to the second episode of GMS Podcast Remastered.
Brought to you by Pioneer Productions.
You're here with your hosts, Cole Kennedy
and Henry Kern.
Alright, everybody. Today's first subject is going to be computer time with Miss Wilson.
Hello, Miss Wilson. How are you today?
Very good. Thank you, boys, for having me.
What are we learning in computers, Miss Wilson?
This is my first year to have a sixth grade rotation block. Prior to that, I have taught keyboarding and computers for about 30 years, and I teach it to 7th and 8th grade students. So if you were a new student coming to Gentry Middle School, you can be assured that you will learn how to type correctly, because I am of the philosophy that your keyboarding skills are the basis for all other skills and classes that you will take even through middle school and into high school. So you're going to learn how to type correctly, you're going to learn how to format documents, you're going to learn about computers, and coding. Coding is very big now. We're doing a 4-week coding block in our 8th grade class, and then I'm also introducing it to 7th graders this year for the first time. And I might even do a little something with my 6th grade rotation block. I haven't quite decided yet, but anyway, that's what we do in Mrs. Wilson's computer classes.
Well, we do have one project in here that the 6th graders are working on that does involve coding.
Awesome. Do you know what they're coding?
They're coding a little FinchBot. You know what FinchBots are, right?
Yes.
They're coding how to make a FinchBot move. You know.
That is super cool. That is awesome. So maybe those same 6th graders, when I have them in my rotation this year, maybe they can help me introduce that to the 6th grade students just in the regular classroom. That'd be awesome.
All right. Why did you decide to become a computers teacher?
So about 35 years ago, I started my career in education. I was actually married at the time, and I had children, and so I was called a returning student to the University of Arkansas. So the reason I chose to go into, actually it was called business education at the time, was because I had two loves. I had a love for children and I had a love for business. I always enjoyed all my business classes that I took when I was in high school. And then prior to getting married and then being married, I worked in secretarial positions. And of course, way back when, we were just, introducing kind of the computer. It was more on a typewriter, which was very different than what it is today. And there was no coding then at all. So I'm really excited about the coding prospect of what it teaches our students, and that I'm able to do that now. I am getting closer to retirement, but I'm really glad that I've had this opportunity to teach the coding that I have. So thank you.
Well, folks, that was Miss Wilson, computers teacher. On to the next subject. All right, everybody, it's time for our next subject, meeting the arts.
Hi, this is Heather Quint. I'm the art teacher at the middle school. These gentlemen wanted to know why I decided to become an art teacher. So when I was in college, I was studying other things. I actually have some other degrees, and with my last one, I had taken theater because it was interesting and I had some extra credits to fill. I really enjoyed it, so I ended up doing theatrical design as a major, but I needed some art classes to get better so I could design sets. So I knew some more fundamentals, and I took the art classes and I liked them. And then I went to graduate school for technical theater for design. And after about a year in, I realized that I really liked art better than theater because I wasn't confined to a box. I had a teacher in undergrad that had said, "You should be an art major," and I laughed at him and I said, "I can't even draw a stick figure." But he was ceramics, and in the end, that's what I ended up focusing on, was painting and ceramics.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So a couple of years passed, and I went to U of A, and I got a degree in art education, and I did emphasis in painting and ceramics. And I really wanted to teach probably since I was in 6th grade, because I wanted to be the kind of teacher that I needed when I was in middle school or high school or wherever, and I didn't have.
So, what do you believe makes a good art student?
Well, there are lots and lots of things, but probably the number one thing is that they don't get discouraged and that they practice all the time. There's no God-given talent there. It's work, 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 and just do it over and over
Yeah, I
again.
love to draw. That's like one of my biggest talents. I'm terrible at drawing like small vehicles, but I love to draw big ships, and I'm awesome at them.
Well, you're not.
It's strange.
I don't think that you're terrible at it. You're just not good at it yet.
Yeah.
So you have to take that kind of attitude, because when you're drawing or painting or whatever, nobody starts out great.
I understand that, because like first I tried drawing like a tank or something, and then it was like all squabbly. Now I can draw awesome.
I think that also not being afraid to fail. And that's really, really hard for everyone, because we don't want to be made a fool of or try something and it look terrible or make a complete mess. But in art, you have to do those things because, like in ceramics, it's not a little bowl of information with water in it. It's an ocean. So sometimes you're going to have to try things, and there's not going to be somebody that did it before you. You have to just try. And if you fail, that's okay.
Yeah, I actually find failing, it's gonna sound weird, but I kind of find failing fun because it makes it look like really funny when you look at it. It's like, wow.
I don't know if it's funny, but you learn a lot from it. You know what
Yes.
not to do, and that's a whole, sometimes you don't know what to do, but when you start to know what you shouldn't do, then at least you have someplace to go. And if you have a good teacher that points you in the right direction, then that helps a lot too. So, but I'm pretty sure for me that's what makes good students, and I like kids that always have a ability to laugh at themselves and everything else, and don't take the work or themselves too seriously. They end up doing better, because art makes people really frustrated sometimes when you have an idea in your head and you can't get it to come out. It won't look the same.
I just keep. What I had done in the past was, I had been in like a old battleship, and then all I wanted to do since then was, I want to draw it. But it never really worked out until like just a few days ago.
No, that's how it is. It just magically seems to come out, but you've been doing it probably every day for a year or something like that.
Yeah, I started about the beginning of the school year starting to draw.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Oh, thank you, Miss Quint. We'll be sure to ask you again. We'll be sure to ask you if anything comes up.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's all for this episode.
Hope to see you on our next episode.
On GMS Podcast Remastered.